Citadel at Gerlandio Falls. An army relay has confirmed that Gallia took the citadel at Gerlandio in the latest clash at Gallia's border. The erstwhile headquarters of the Imperial Command fell after the army opened its front gates with an explosive rail car and subsequently flooded inside. Though no official numbers were released, the operation cost Gallia's forces significant casualties. Early the following morning, a huge explosion of unknown cause razed the surrounding area, annihilating the primary division of Gallia's army with it. Commander of the Central Gallian Force, General Damon, was also lost in the blast. At present, experts suspect an accident in the Citadel's armory as the cause, but no firm details have been yet uncovered. Explosion cause still unknown. In an independent investigation into the blast at Gerlandio, our correspondent found the blast radius and conditions of the aftermath closely matched those in the Dresden incident within the Empire during Europa War I, caused when an explosion within the arsenal at one Imperial outpost started a chain reaction among weapons, gunpowder, and massive store of Ragnite. The blast erased most of Dresden and remains one of the largest ever recorded. The Gallian military has maintained its calm that an investigation is underway, offering no further comment on the matter. Eyewitness accounts confirm the characteristic blue glow of Ragnite was present, reinforcing the possibility of a Ragnite explosion. I'm going Scout Elite, Trooper Elite, Engineer Elite this time. There we go. Anything new?
Good work.
Never thought I'd see the day where I let the snipers fall behind. Neutralize. This order protects one ally from being counterattacked after firing. Oh, nice. Never thought I'd let the snipers lag behind, but they now are my lowest level unit. Admittedly, it's been a few missions now since they were last really useful, which makes me sad, because I like sniping in tactical games. I'm not particularly great at sniping in real-time games, but in tactical ones, it just feels like a nice thing to have around. I'm of course conditioned by how effective they always seem to be in my strategies in XCOM. More accuracy for our scouts and our engineers. Fantastic.
Here you go.
Machine guns. Nope. Anti-tank lances. There we go. More damage upgrade. All the better to murder with. Flamethrowers. Nope. It's funny that they replaced the sister with the new engineer character, but he's only had like 2 lines of dialogue so far. Like the game seems mostly content to ignore him for the rest of the game at this rate. We'll see. There we go. That's all the basics. Let's check for any of the free upgrades for the Edelweiss, because he's pretty full up otherwise, but these things are just flat out, hey, more hit points, without having to sub anything out. There we go. Got more defense and more health. Might not stand that much of a chance if a tank destroyer shows up again, though, because those, well, they destroyed my tanks.
Lieutenant Welkin Gunther, step forward. In honor of your manifold accomplishments, you are hereby awarded this honor.
Highness, it's an honor.
Furthermore, for your squad's exemplary performance in the final battle, this royal award.
Thank you, Your Highness.
May your allegiance to Gallia stand firm evermore.
Alright, I'm settling in for a very long episode. Or so I think. Because we're in one of the last chapters of the game, so probably going to be a tough fight. Especially since it's called the Marmota, so it's probably a tank boss fight because they keep teasing this weapon throughout the game. We'll see how it goes. Lots of cutscenes, probably a big fight. Chapter 16, The Maiden's Shield, the Marmota.
The Clodin wildwood is but a tender flower patch before the Marmota.
Your Grace, a massive explosion was reported at the Citadel at Ghirlandaio, sir. Our rear guard and Gallia's primary force were both caught in the blast and obliterated.
I see. Then Selvaria has performed her duty. Now nothing remains to stay our hand. Continue the march to the Gallian capital.
Yep, super tank achieved. Operation Maiden Shield.
The Empire's ultimate weapon passed unhindered through the thick of Clodin's woods, said to be impenetrable to all but bird and beast, and continued its juggernaut march north towards the gates of Castle Randgrease. Leaving the former site of the Citadel at Ghirlandaio behind, the militia raced to the capital's southern gates to intercept it.
Everyone, we've received intelligence on the weapon coming through Clodin's forest. The report identifies it as one of their most tightly guarded development projects. It closely matches plans for a terrestrial dreadnought, Marmota. It's heavily armored and carries a host of large-caliber cannons. A battleship on legs.
Leave it to the imps. It's one ridiculous take after the other from these people.
Furthermore, it is likely that Maximilian is aboard the Marmota in person.
Are you serious? How'd he get there so quickly?
Regardless, we need to stop that thing, or the capital will be in danger.
Oh, sure, just gotta stop it. It's a battleship, boss. How are we gonna stop it?
We'll be cooperating with the Randgrease Royal Guard in effecting Operation Maiden's Shield. Our job is to lure the Marmota into a canyon the Guard has lined with mines. Beyond the mines, they'll be concentrating all of their firepower to stop it.
Leading it into a minefield, huh? So we're the bait.
Unfortunately, yes. With Gallia's army vaporized, this plan is our only real option. Once they get out on open land, there's no stopping them. It has to happen in that gully.
A land dreadnought. I still can't even imagine.
Welkin.
Alicia, what's wrong? You look kind of down.
It's nothing. I'm fine. Now let's go beat us up a battleship.
Alicia.
Yep, this is starting to sound like suicide. We'll see how it pans out. Cordelia's Stand.
Highness, the Empire's dreadnought approaches at great speed.
Thank you.
The Royal Guard and militia were deployed in a tandem operation, but the outlook is grim.
We understand. We shall join them on the field. Fetch here the royal armaments and tell the castle guard to assemble outside.
Your Highness, where do you intend to go?
Idly sit atop a throne while the nation crumbles around me. It is the office of the Archduke's duty to fight for the safety of its people.
Ah, yes, but that would be inconvenient, Highness. I ask you, make no foolish choices.
Borg, what is the meaning of this?
You are a precious bargaining chip alive. It would not do to allow you to simply leave.
Bargaining trading chip? You plan to sell our nation to the Empire then?
Perish the thought, dear princess. Gallia is about to be reborn, anew, child. As a glorious kingdom with me as its king.
At some point, just every character's a villain, and like every commander on both sides is just awful. There's almost no redeeming characters. It's like, who are the people outside of Squad 7 who are actually decent in all of Gallia? It's like Captain Farrat and the Queen or Princess, and that's it. That's not a great list. Diverting the Marmota. Here comes the big mission. Very linear looking map. I guess that makes sense because we're talking about luring them into a minefield.
We're about to commence Operation Maiden's Shield, together with the Randgree's Royal Guard.
Squad 7 will begin the operation from this position. Their Marmota will be approached from the north end of the area, advancing southward every turn. You'll head along this route, trying to direct its path. Your mission is to lead it to this location, where the Randgree's Royal Guard and a field full of mines await it. I repeat, your objective is to lure the Marmota to the specified destination. Anyone or anything caught in the path of its advance will be out instantly. You'll have no chance to call for a medic. Plan your tactics carefully. I know you can do this without any casualties, Lieutenant. That's brutal. So we need to take it, we need to get it to follow us down the gorge. Welkin can't die. Wow. If anyone goes down, they're just dead forever. So clear incentive to try to just use the immortal people if I can. All right. We just need to get down there. How do I lure it that way? Not really entirely sure. I assume I attack it or something. We have to be mobile, so I'm going with the skeleton crew. It's literally just the people who give me a CP and no one else. So just the basics. And I'm gonna try with that. As we've learned from the past, this is kind of a gimmicky boss fight situation, so I don't really know what I'm getting myself into until I experience it for myself, so I'm just gonna have to accept that I might fail it the first time based on lack of information. All I know is the tank's supposed to somehow go from top to bottom. I don't know how I make it follow me is not really clear, and what kind of dangers we're going to be looking at is not clear. But I'm about to learn that really fast.
Past here means allowing them into the capital. That must be avoided at any cost. Good luck.
We have to divert that monster away from the capital. Squad 7, move out!
If he actually gets wiped out fast enough, I'd be pretty... If we actually kill the Marmota here, I'll be surprised.
That's it, huh? They weren't kidding with that battleship stuff.
Remember, our mission's just to lead it along. Avoid combat where you can. And don't forget to keep your distance. Get run over by that thing and it's all over.
So, I guess that's the Marmota, the giant... That is huge, whatever it is. And we're trying to go here and make it go this path specifically. If it goes that way, we lose, right? But if we go this way, we win. Are those the mines? Those are probably the mines. That's our ultimate goal. So I think if it goes there, we also lose. It has to go here specifically. So there seem to be two locations on the map where it might diverge to a different path where I'd probably lose. Exactly what causes it to go one way or another? Not sure. Let's get started with Alicia. She's a fast-moving character. Yep, there it is. That thing is huge and right behind us. Alright, I guess I'll just start walking. I don't know. How do you lure a tank? It's not like it's not a bear. Like, it's being led by presumably intelligent people that would try to make decisions that don't lead to their tank being destroyed. Presumably. What's my chance here? 4 headshots needed out of 5. That's not a very good chance. Instead I'll go for a nice old mortar. It doesn't reach? Oh no. That's unusual for a map to be that big. That I actually can't reach them with a mortar at this kind of range. I'll give it a shot. Nope. First 2 looked really promising. Let's head forward with our tank. That's always a good front line. We have 2 tanks. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I use 7 per turn. If I move everyone once, I'll use 7 CP. Nope. That's a lot of incoming shots. So we're going this way. What is that? What is that? Ragnite? Am I supposed to shoot that? I don't know what it is. I don't know, it's free. Was that worth doing? I genuinely don't know what that thing's supposed to do. Oh, rock slide. That's one way to keep it from wanting to go on that side, I suppose. Maybe I wonder if I shot it too early, though. I don't know. Maybe I shot it too early and we'll be in trouble now. So many possibilities. I'm always a little iffy about missions like this. Just because they're like, oh yeah, here's your objective. Do this thing that is never what we do in any of these missions. Alright, cool. I'll get right on that, based on all of our 0 prior experience of doing that kind of objective. If I'm lucky, 1 or 2 turns in, they'll just out of nowhere start explaining in the middle of the mission how to do the mission. Which is weird design, because you think you'd start off that way. So that I don't spend the first 2 turns doing it wrong. But it's happened a few times now, where I'll open the mission doing everything wrong, and then the game will suddenly explain what I was actually supposed to do. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks for telling me now. So for now, I'm just gonna run off in this vague direction and hope things work out. And I'm gonna try to get out of this rock slide zone that I've initiated. Alright, so those things start rock slides, huh? That's almost certainly important to the mission somehow. There's another one over there. So I wonder, maybe my objective is just to charge forward and take out these rock slide locations. There we go. If I rock slide all over the place, then he can't take that path. Maybe that's how I stop him from going that way. Alright, my turn's over. Technically Largo can go further, I guess. He's the furthest one back, so I should probably use him. Dare I take a shot? I might as well take 1 shot because you get 1 free ammo every turn. Figured I might get lucky. That 1 shot will get refilled anyway. It's when if you use multiple shots per turn is when you start running out. All right, let's learn things. Alright, did I do it? Is that how you divert their path? Only time will tell. And also, this is my chance to finally know how far exactly this, Oh wow. Lancer just popping out. Here's my chance to find out how far the Marmota moves per turn. Good news is they only seem to get like... they apparently only get 5 CP per turn? If they only have 5 CP, we'll get a lot done then. Uh-oh. Ooh, flamethrower. That's not nice. I apparently dodged the flamethrower by being set on fire. I don't know how that works. That's okay, I'm only mostly burned. I'll be better. Oh, oh no, that was a terrible mistake. He was already being shot to death, and he continued his turn. That was like a classic example of one of those moments that I have, where it's like, you gotta hammer B to end your turn as fast as possible.
Damage minimal.
You're using up a lot of CP. That's 3 already. How much does the Marmota need to move? 2, I assume? Or does it move for free? Oh. It either costs 1 to move or it just moves for free. And these 5 CP just govern the foot soldiers we're dealing with. So why'd they call it a... They called it a...
Lieutenant, explosives have been installed next to the gully walls. Detonate them with a gunshot. They'll cause a rock slide that may slow the enemy down.
But won't the person setting them off also get caught in the rock slide?
They're shock-sensitive time bombs. Once you arm them with a shot, there's still time. Shoot them, then pull out before they go off. Their range is wide, though, so be careful.
Oh. Mortar strikes. I wonder why they called it a dreadnought with legs. I understand that it's a dreadnought that's on land, but the legs part's slightly funny to me. It did not move very far. Alright. We'll see how this goes. Try things out with Alicia. We can take out the Lancer real quick. Boy howdy. You got neighbors. But surely it's just on treads, right? Not legs. It'd be hilarious if they had like chicken walker legs, like a ATST. Is that a? Are those turrets? Those are they spotlights? I can't really tell from here if those are turrets or spotlights or what. So this is a massive minefield for humans. That's a problem for me. Alright, what's over here then? The front gate. What the hell? Those are so many mines. Oh no. We're gonna want, like, the Shamrock or something to get by here, I think. That is so many mines. Alright. I probably should have faced a different direction to deal with oncoming fire. The major stuff's out of the way. I feel like I still don't have an explanation, though, that I can work with that says how to make it follow a certain direction. Maybe it comes down to staying within line of sight. Maybe if I shoot it. Aha! Pew! Maybe the Edelweiss should like stay kind of in line of sight with it to lure it into coming this way. I don't know. I don't know how to lure a tank. It's not a mechanic the game's explained ever. But if I do this, I'm gonna want to face it this way. We'll get out of the strike zone, but definitely don't want our weak spot facing them. And then I think I want the Shamrock to go forward to hopefully run over all those mines, because otherwise we can't get past them, and that'll be a problem. Go, Shamrock, go! At this point, I'm fairly confident. I don't know, maybe not confident, but I'll be completely unsurprised if I end up starting the mission over. We'll see. There you go. I'm kind of just waiting for some piece of evidence that's like, you ruined everything! You should have done this on turn 2! Just head down here. That might have been a mistake, because I'm creating a rock slide here. We kind of want him to go the other way, don't we? Keep you going. Screw all of your mines! Ha 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 ha! Alright, that's fun. That's silly. It's a good old time. Alright, Rosie's the furthest back. They gotta get moving. Or we're gonna get in trouble. Jury's kind of still out on whether or not there was a reason to bring these extra soldiers or not, but I figured I would. Just because you don't know what you're heading into. Alright, enemy turn. What's gonna happen? Rock slide. And now we wait. Are there enemy soldiers hanging out in the minefield? That'd be a surprise. Are there enemies? I guess not. I think I killed all the enemies I know about, so just nothing happens. Or they're moving soldiers that I have zero clue exist, so maybe it just doesn't zoom on them? There you go. Slowly advancing.
They've stopped in front of the rock slide!
Great! It worked! That should buy us some time.
Oh. Does it just slow them down and nothing else? I originally shot it hoping that it would divert the attention a bit, but if slowing down is all it does, I might not do it, because I don't seem to have much reason to go slower right now. But the moment going slower probably is just gonna make this mission longer. We'll see. In fact, I've just made more rock slides for my characters to have to walk around too. Alright, Shamrock, clear the way. It's like having an engineer, except way less work. Ooh, watch out for the big mines though. Let's head this way. We don't want to hit our actual tank with stuff that'll actually hurt it. Found us an enemy. Ooh, hi. Guess how well this turns out for you. So well, like so well. Boop. I booped him in the head with a headshot. Increasing number of anti-tank mines. Careful about that. So far, no damage taken. There's a few troopers down there and a lancer. And Shunta the Mont. He's a sniper. That means he's going to be a hazard for us if he catches us. So let's try to not let him catch us, huh? This should be like a nice, clear path, more or less. Yeah. Admittedly, the foot soldiers might be able to just run through this town. That has mines in it, though, because I couldn't clear them with this character. So not that. Howdy, folks. How you guys doing? Huh? It'd be really funny if I could just headshot this guy at this distance and then counter-snipe the sniper. I'd be pretty happy. Nope. Didn't happen, but it would have been really amusing if I shot a sniper directly in the head. At this range, they shouldn't be able to do anything to my tank. So I pretty much just want to move these guys forward before they get in trouble. Seems like a mission that's kind of light on enemies, though. I probably can't thread that needle. I'm tempted to have them retreat just to give me fewer units to move, but if they retreated, I don't think I could summon them back anywhere. So I'd have to deal with permanently losing certain classes that might come in handy later. Due to it being like a gimmicky boss fight situation, it might be a thing where I have to shoot Lancer bolts into his vents at some point. My Welkin's gonna hang out for now. I want to draw his attention, whatever that means in this game's case. What was that? Oh, right, the mortar strikes. I forgot. Completely forgot about the mortar strikes.
Sir, the Marmota is on the move again.
That was fast. Everybody, stay sharp out there!
Die, rocks. The secret was to run them over. You sure cracked that case. Info?
Sir, there's a fork in the gully.
The straight path leads away from our target. We need to make them turn.
In that case, why not use the explosives on the straight path to block it with debris?
Right. Good plan. Let's give it a try.
So the thing I already did? Are there more explosives? I mean, now I want to double check. Are there more explosives to shoot? Oh, there are! So if I double block it... There we go. Now it'll be fully blocked with debris, so they'll be inclined to not go that way. Okay. I hope I did that right. So shooting here was kind of a mistake in that aspect, but hopefully the fact that I've blocked that path means he'll go this way. Just gonna keep backing up. We'll see how it goes. Let's get our foot soldiers through the maze next. Yeah, between those two, it'll be a fully blocked path. I wonder how that works if I blocked this side, though. Maybe it'll... I can almost see it not working out for me because I made the mistake of not making it the most optimum path. I should probably not be running that fast through this, by the way. And then I go right back to running that fast again. It's fine. I do need to hang out behind the wall, though, or we're gonna get shot. I believe there's no cover around here. Alright, Alicia. Congrats, you made it. Let's get behind the wall. Hey, Shamrock, we got enemies around here. If you could just, like, clear them out real quick, that'd be fine and dandy. Gonna stay back just to keep the Lancer... Oh, weird angle. Ah, still no headshot. It would just be so satisfying. Alright, we'll keep approaching. I could just shoot the Lancer in the face with like a machine gun or something. Yeah. That would reduce the problem. And we have a lot of CP left over. And with the Lancer out of the way, there's way less risk overall. Howdy, folks. Just gonna aim for the head. Whoops. Feeling alright? Looking a little blue in the face. Just gonna go over here. Aim at you guys. Right in the face. And I'm just gonna shoot the crap out of you if you try to start a turn. Won't that be fine and dandy? That'll keep them busy. Alright. So now that I've found out how to block one path, I guess I'll just go run over to the other path and block that one too. This mission will probably have some kind of phase 2. Because this phase 1 is pretty straightforward. And honestly, not very... It honestly doesn't give me that much to do, all things considered. So I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into a stage 2 boss fight where all of our objectives change and something new is suddenly happening. Like that time where Alicia started the fight on the field, and then suddenly got way more dangerous a moment later. What do I do next? I guess I could just shoot these guys and get it over with. Howdy, folks. You're a sniper, and you're gonna try to take out my friends. Oh, he's a durable one. Took a mortar to the face. He's doing A-okay. Alright, I'll end the turn at this point. They're both fairly likely to get killed by interception fire if they try to do a turn. Here comes the enemy. I think they only have 2 soldiers in the entire field, which is why they're overflowing with CP. Oh, what you doing? Oh, you blowing up my trads? I joke, but it's actually kind of a big deal because I don't have engineers. What? Oh, it was a mortar strike. Another weird case of them seeming to mortar their own bases again. They were defending that base, so I assume it's theirs. But every time there's a mortar on the field, the mortar relentlessly batters their own base. It's always amusing.
Enemy course change confirmed.
Yay!
Looks like we made him turn. Okay, let's keep guiding that thing home.
Well, no, not home. Let's keep guiding that thing specifically anywhere except for home, because we're trying to make it not go to our base. We're trying to make it not go to the capital. That is our objective. It'd be very bad if it went home. Alright. Just gonna navigate this little mine maze carefully. I want to at least use Rosie and Largo once per turn, because that's when they have their full meter. Also in this case, because they're standing in a mortar strike, that'd be bad. But anything past that, they just move so slowly that it's probably not an effective use of my CP. I could probably get a lot more done with Alicia, for example. I'm probably gonna have Alicia run over and take out the other bombs. Since there don't seem to be other threats around here. Don't know if that one counts. It'll be in range of everyone though, so it'll be easy to target. There it is. Wow, she can walk far. Always kind of catches me off guard just how far she can move. There we go. Rock slide 1. There you go. Let's go trigger our second one. We still healthy on CP? There we go. Just gotta make sure I have at least 4 or so both of my characters get to move. My tanks. One to take out our opponents over there, and the other one to just make sure it doesn't get blown up by the enemy. Alright, should be all out of rock slide range now. Might as well try to approach. Oh crap! I was planning on approaching the range to interception fire them like an idiot, not thinking about the fact like, oh yeah, they're gonna shoot me while I do that. Should have thought about that a little bit. Oh well. This is a problem that's gonna be resolved relatively quickly. Hey look, a cannon pointing at your face. Guess how this pans out. I shouldn't do that. I should do the more guaranteed kill. There we go. Bye! Sure was nice knowing you. Not particularly, but, you know, it's polite to say. Alright, well, we're at our objective. So at this point, I guess I just slowly bring Welkin through. And hang out over here with whoever's left. So I guess this would be pretty easy to rush, normally. If I wanted to win this very, very quickly, I would probably... I mean, you just have Alicia run through and shoot all the things that need to be shot to win. Alicia could probably single-handedly take out every single troop in the game without much problem. And once Alicia's taken care of all of the bad guys, you would just have the Edelweiss get to the exit as fast as possible, with Alicia being, well, anyone who has a spare shot would spend their turn taking out the landslide primers, and that might be the whole mission. So this is definitely one of those missions that gets a lot simpler the second time, when you just know what to do already. How we doing on CP? Just enough to move. You guys already went, right? Yeah. And those guys are both finished off. And the trap down there is finished off. Yeah. Let's just keep moving the Edelweiss, I guess. No reason to keep it in range of the danger. Alright. On we go. I made it out of mortar strike range, I think. Yeah, I did. Okay, we're safe. Explosions! Landslides! That explosion took out so much of the landscape over there, and it was already so narrow. I'm kind of surprised it didn't collapse all parts of it right there in both directions. Because the middle of the fork's actually super narrow. Alright. The Marmota's moving again! I wish I hadn't knocked that one down. It's gonna take a little longer now. We'll see, though. Maybe now that I've diverted both courses, it'll just, maybe the mission will just end when I get to the flag. Yeah, that's their whole turn. They have no units. Huh. I'm trying to think of another one, and I can't think of another mission that worked this way, to be honest. I guess... While we're getting ready for the mission to end, I guess everyone's going to want to space themselves out, because the mortars are probably going to constantly try to aim at us. So we'll probably want to stand in different directions. You've got extra action meters, so you'll run off to the left. Largo will take a more straight path. Here we go. Careful. Alright, minefield cleared. The speed difference between Alicia and Largo is massive. It's amazing just how far she can get in a turn, and he probably has 1/3 as much meter as she does. I think that's roughly the difference. Oh, I just run that over. Surprise. Probably wouldn't have hurt to have an engineer, just so I could repair the Shamrock and Edelweiss for what tiny amount of damage they've taken, in case that becomes a problem later. Alright, so, gonna go ahead and put a save down over one of my many saves from last chapter, just because I've been now playing for so long that I would very much, if a weird problem happens, I definitely don't want to start the whole fight over. Unless that weird problem was in turn 2, then I will totally have to. Come get us, Marmota. Wow, that meter's full. As far as I can tell, because you don't see any new points generate each turn, so they're not spending any at all. So as far as I can tell, that the super weapon just doesn't use any. I don't think it just moves automatically. So, in a weird way, I'm playing a strategy RPG against an enemy that doesn't exist. Because, yeah, the enemy team just doesn't have units. So you're kind of playing out the actions. It's interesting. It means that the enemy's turn comes up and nothing happens, and it skips to my turn again. Not the usual, for sure. Keep moving. There we go. And keep a little bit of space clear for the Edelweiss. Try to head towards that flag. That path looks pretty blocked. Hope I did it right. I guess we'll probably get a message from the game will probably say something about it if I've done it right or wrong. You see it just chasing behind us. It's intimidating. It takes up the entire canyon. You think that they would, considering the difference in size, how similar the size of the canyon and the tank is, you think they'd clue into the fact that this is a trap. It's like the most opportune place to tank it. Hey, look! We have a giant super weapon, and our enemy seems to be running over here, into this canyon that's weirdly shaped just like our super weapon. Nah, I'm sure it's a coincidence. What could go wrong? We got this. We're overconfident people from not Germany. We think we're dominant and superior, so we're going to kick everyone's ass. These treads on this tank, they're actually made of docks and corpses. We molded them into the alloy. More siren. Oh, watch out, Rosie. Alright, we're just gonna keep pressing everyone forward. Trying to keep them a little spread out. You never know where the mortar's gonna show up, but if I keep them a little spread out, it'll avoid some of them, I think. Just reducing how many people I'll have to move per turn if it lands right on top of us. It's a big circle, though. so it's hard to do much about it at some point. Alright. If something goes wrong, we could always send Alicia over towards the enemy. I mean, not towards the enemy. If I've somehow failed to divert the enemy correctly, Alicia can go take care of that, because she just has ridiculous range, and I'm storing up a lot of CP at this point, so we'll be safe to do whatever I need at that point. I'm gonna get most of the way there, but then probably just turn around right here and stop. And then I'll probably just skip my turn. Yep. Come get us, big boy. We're right over here. Don't we look tasty? Get ready to watch the game play itself for a while. Are those buildings being destroyed? What does the animation look like for destroying buildings? Oh, there is no animation for destroying the building. Oh no, there's no animation? Oh no. They're just like hoping that if they use the smoke effect, no one will notice. They totally don't have an effect.
Sir, there's another fork!
Let's block their course with a rock slide like before. We're not far from the Royal Guard's minefield now. Hang in there, Sevens!
That's tragic. They have all those, oh, he's right here too. I should probably back up more. They have that whole village area to run over with all the barracks and whatever you want to call the buildings. And, it just clips through them. That's unfortunate. That would have been a nice time to have, like, have the buildings crumble and fall apart, or even just, like, split in half and fall underground. Usually making things, like, with all the smoke they're using, the usual cheap tactic is to make something just sink into the ground and shake a little bit, and if you have enough fog to cover up the fact that it's literally just a solid object clipping through the ground, it's a convincing enough image that a building's collapsing. As opposed to what they did there, where you could just watch it drive through the buildings. So that, like, if you couldn't do it with the camera right now, but if the camera moved past those buildings, I'm pretty sure that you could physically see the buildings still standing behind the Marmota, because they're just not being destroyed. And that's a weird thing to do for a mission. Come and get us, guys. Right? Did we do it right? That's a long cutscene. Is that us winning? Oh yeah, he's diverted. We win, I think. Oh yeah, we won. Okay. Alright, that was long.
Operation complete! We managed to lead the Dreadnought here!
Bummer. So in this case I got a C rank because I followed the advice of the characters. Because the character's like, you should shoot the Ragnite or whatever and it'll slow him down. That's a terrible idea, because if you slow him down you get a lower rank. Instead, just go sprinting ahead. Ideally, if I played this again, I'd probably do Edelweiss, Shamrock, and just Alicia. Alicia could single-handedly take out... Well, actually, the Shamrock can single-handedly take out most of the enemies, so I guess... Yeah, I would actually have no units on the board, because then I would have a ton of free CP just to move the tanks. Just speed run through the level, shoot all of the deposits real quick that cause the 2 detours to happen, get to the exit, and then just pass your turn a few times until the mission ends. That was, I gotta say, there's ups and downs in this game, where the worst mission of the entire game was that stealth mission, probably, and there's some really interesting ones along the way. This one was probably one of the worst, one of the less good ones, because the entire mission had like 5 enemies total, but you have to wait for... If I hadn't slowed them down, I probably would have to wait 7 turns or 8 turns for him to just slowly creep across the map. And it kind of feels like I'm acting out a cutscene, you know what I mean? It feels like the story is happening, but they decide to make it a mission. Oh yeah, it's actually totally what it feels like. It kind of feels like when you play a game based on a movie, and they're like, oh, we're gonna turn this scene into a whole level. I'm like, oh, but there's not that much to do in this scene. Like, no, it's half an hour of this, go! We seized that gun.
We're raining cannonballs on that thing, and it ain't flinching.
And now it's pretty much clear of the gully. Well, boss, what's your plan? No wonder of nature up your sleeve to fix this one, Lieutenant?
Hey, that a person out there? What are they thinking?
What? That's Alicia. She's going to attack that thing all by herself.
That's insane!
What does she think she can do against that juggernaut?
Alicia!
Wait a minute! Where are you going?
Forgive me, Welkin. I shouldn't have just left. Not without saying goodbye. I've been thinking this whole time, Welkin, wondering why I was born like I am. A Valkyria. If only I weren't a Valkyria, things would be just like they were before, wouldn't they? But no. That is one way, but I have found another. I know how I can give my life as a Valkyria meaning. I can use my power. I can stop this thing. I'll stoke my life fire into a blaze. I'll save you. I'll save Brule, my friends, and everyone else in Gallia.
Well, she's certainly lucid this time. Let's see how she messes it up, huh? I don't know. Maybe she'll be able to defeat it. The next thing says love, and then there's... every single portrait after this is her looking into Welkin's eyes or standing next to Welkin, so... get ready for romance, everybody.
Valkyria. I never wanted this! I am Valkyria, not a woman. No. That life has ended. Alicia Melchior is dead.
Blue flame, she wouldn't. Fool! What does she think to do? Sacrifice herself and take the Marmota down with her? Fine. 45 degrees to port. All ahead full. Now!
Alicia!
Welkin! Why are you here? Leave! I'm destroying the Marmota. Only I can do it. I'm one life. My death could save a whole country.
Alicia, you're wrong. You could destroy them with your power. But that's not real victory. Real victory is something we must claim for ourselves without relying on your power.
I can't. Welkin, I can't. Valkyrian blood runs in my veins. I'm not human like you are.
You're right. It's true that you have powers that we don't have. But so what? You're still yourself, Alicia. right. A future baker. Alicia, has any of that changed? You may be Valkyria, but you're still the same girl.
Welkin,
You mean so much to me, Alicia. I will not let you come to harm. I will protect you. Alicia, I love you.
Welkin.
Alicia, once this war is finished, will you be with me? I would be with you, together, always.
Yes, always.
It's a cute scene and all, but she kind of just doomed us all, I think? Because, she was standing face to face with the Marmota, and then the Marmota seemed to go off to the right, like her right, meaning from its perspective it turned left, which would mean that it went down the path we specifically tried to make it not go down, completely defeating the purpose of this mission? Unless those cutscenes took place in some other nether world that isn't on the map, or something. Or for that matter, you're very lucky that you weren't, especially with Welkin being a stupid normal human, they're very lucky that they weren't struck by a random mortar fire, because that thing was firing mortars the entire mission. You'd think that would hit them. You think they'd just shoot them for shits and giggles, because they're the enemy. But I guess maybe they didn't get hit by any mortar fire, and the entire war just kind of disappeared so they could have a romantic, sparkly scene. That first part he said was weird too. He was saying, the part where it's like, I love you, and you're still human to me, and whatever. That's all fine. That's That's normal. But the part where he's like, no, it wouldn't be a real victory. We need to have a real victory that doesn't use your powers. That's stupid. Every line of dialogue about that was stupid. No, it's war. Win. He's using super tanks. If you can kill him with superpowers, you don't not do it just because it wouldn't be a normal victory. We gotta win legit. No cheats, no hacks, bro. No, you just use what you have to win. The whole question about whether or not she'll die and whether or not you value that's a different conversation. But that whole intro argument was a bad argument. He should have skipped all of that. Just skipped the kissing, I guess. Squad 7 moves out.
Welkin.
Alicia.
Woo! You're making me blush over here. But, you sure that's wise? You know, this being a combat zone and all.
Hey!
Just look at the happy couple. And I get the big scoop. That is, I would if it were anyone else. But for you two, well, I'll keep my big mouth shut. Just this once, you hear?
Alicia, welcome back.
Thank you. All of you. I missed you so.
You dropped this, boss.
So, Welkin, we'll hear your orders.
We go to hunt the Marmota. We'll head straight for Randgrease. All right, everyone, let's get moving.
Chapter 17, The Bridge to Hope.
Yeah, even that later dialogue actually kind of made it sound like the Marmota's now headed the wrong way. Alicia screwed it up. Alicia screwed everything up.